All right, Shalom Akim. First and foremost, I want to start off by this lesson by giving all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem, Makahak, Wadash. Double honors to the apostles of Great Millstone who rule and teach well, and salutations to the brothers that are pushing out this word in truth and in sincerity. This is your brother Yahweh Allah from GMS Chicago, coming at you with another lesson. And as you can see in the screen, I want to go into this book by Timothy R. Jenkins called The 10 Tribes of Israel, or the true history of the North American Indians, showing that they're the descendants of these 10 tribes. All right, so pretty much just want to go into yet even more evidence that the natives of the Americas were Israelites. All right, because they had these tendencies of fulfilling what was written in the scriptures, man. All right, as it says in the scriptures. All right, let's get Romans 2 and 24. Salakia. Yeah, 2 and 24. Right. It says. Damn, Salakia. Give me a second. 2 and 12, Salakia. It says, "For when the Gentiles, which have not the law, do by nature the things contained in the law, these having not the law are a law unto themselves," because it was written, the law was within their spirit, man. You know, to seek what was right, man. Even though they didn't get it 100% to the T, you know, the culture that the natives had have strong tendencies, strong similarities to that of the ancient Israelites. All right, and that being said, I want to go into the book of 2nd Esdras, chapter 13, verse 40, because it even reads that when the natives left the land of the Assyrians, that was their full intention, right? So this is the book of 2nd Esdras, chapter 13, verse 40. It says, "Those are the 10 tribes which were carried away prisoners out of their own land in the time of Hosea the king," right? Because Israel, the 10 tribes, the northern kingdom, was taken from into captivity in the time of Hosea the king, right? By Salmanassar, the king of Assyria. It says, "Whom Salmanassar, the king of Assyria, led away captives, and he carried them over to the waters, and so came they into another land. But they took this counsel among themselves that they would leave the multitude of the heathen and go forth into a further country where never mankind dwelt, that they might there keep their statutes, which they never kept in their own in their own land." Excuse me. All right, so that was their intention when they had separated, you know, and gone into that land where no man dwelt, right? And if we keep reading, we know that they called that land Arsareth. And you can go online right now and go into the Jewish encyclopedia and look up Arsareth, and they'll tell you themselves that Cristobal Colon identified this land as the New World, which is the Americas. All right, that's how he knew where to come. Okay, he knew what he was searching for. All right, so without further ado, I'm gonna start. I want to go to page 115. All right, and I'm gonna read the bottom portion of this the page. All right, starting at the paragraph where it starts, Bartram. All right, so it says, "Bartram assures us there is in every town or tribe a high priest, usually nicknamed by the white people the juggler or conjurer, besides several of inferior rank." All right, so Esau knows that in every town, that in every tribe, they found a high priest. All right, and those of inferior rank too, right? And that's exactly how the Lord has set up the Levites, man. All right, you had the children of Aaron, who out of the children of Aaron were going to come the high priest, and all the other Levites were just regular priests. All right, who were of, you can say, inferior rank, man. But the children of Aaron had a higher rank. Okay, and it's not a coincidence that in every town and in every tribe they found this same structure. All right, and they called them, and one of their nicknames was white people, man. White being pure, man. All right, like it says, like it says in the scripture, it says, "Wash me, and I should be white as snow," right? In Psalms, if I'm not mistaken. All right, and when the Lord comes back, all right, the elect is gonna have on white robes, man. All right, meaning their purity. All right, and that's what the priests symbolized. All right, so I'm gonna keep going. All right, it says, but that the oldest high priest or seer presides always in spiritual things and is a person of great consequence. He maintains and exercises great influence in the state, particularly in military affairs, man. And time throughout the scriptures, you see, like, that they would consult the high priest or a prophet, right, to see if the Most High would say to go ahead and fight, or whether to hold back. All right, these are customs that the ancient Israelites had, man. This is not a coincidence, man. All right, a culture is formed by generations of getting accustomed to certain acts, man. All right, and in this case, it was the acts came from the law, which they knew which was part of their history. All right, it says. Um, It says he, particularly in military affairs, it says their Senate or Great Council never determining on an expedition without his counsel and assistance. These people believe most firmly that their seer or high priest has communion with powerful invisible spirits whom they suppose have some share in the rule of government of human affairs as well as in that of the elements, man. And they had to, go off, they didn't have it perfectly, man. But the fact that they believed in spirits, right? Because the Most High is a spirit, right? And the angels too, they they're also in the spiritual realm with him, right? The fact that they're even mentioning anything like this, shows that they were spiritual people, man, which the Lord promised his people were going to be kings and priests, man. All right, the Lord has taught his elect to be spiritual, man. Okay, I'm gonna keep going. It says, he further adds that these Indians are by no means idolaters, unless they're puffing the tobacco smoke towards the sun and rejoicing at the appearance of the new moon, right? And that's also another thing, man. I'm going to finish off the chapter. It says, may be termed so far from idolatry are they that they have no images among them, nor any religious rite or ceremony relating to them that I could ever perceive. All right, so those are 2 points. There are 2 points that I want to touch right here. Is the point of idolatry, and the point of them rejoicing at the appearance of the new moon, man. Because in the scriptures, the new moon is the Shabbat, man. All right, and even in it's a prophecy written in Isaiah 66 that after the Lord establishes himself, in verse 23, look at what it says. This is Isaiah 66 and 23. It says, and it shall come to pass that from one new moon to another, and from one Shabbat to another, shall all flesh come to worship before me, saith the Lord, man. So the new moon was a high holy day, man. All right, and so it was to the natives of this land as well, man. That's not a coincidence, man. That was part of their culture, man. Okay, And touching the point about adultery, that idolatry, that's part of the Ten Commandments. All right, this is Exodus chapter 20, verse 3. It says, "Thou shalt have no other gods before me. Thou shalt make unto thee. Thou shalt not make unto thee any graven image or any likeness of anything that is in heaven above, or that is in earth beneath, or that is in the water under the earth. Thou shalt not bow down thyself to them, nor serve them, for I am Yahweh thy power, am a jealous God, visiting the iniquity of the fathers upon the children, unto the third and fourth generation of them that hate me." All right. So there you go, man. Another characteristic of the Israelites, man. All right. There's no hiding this, man. Esau's been knowing who we are, man. But he's done a great job at making you so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans believe that you are inferior to them. Why? How? By calling you savages, by calling you black, which is a derogatory term, man. You know, all these melanated people in the world are not, they don't call these other dark melanated people black. They only call you so-called Negroes, man. All right. Why? Because it's psychologically, it makes you think less of yourself, man. Because black is a color without light, man. All right. It's darkness, man. Okay. It has negative connotations. Okay. And that it's purposely done against you, because your color of your skin is not even black. It's brown. People out here that have pigmentation in their skin, they're brown, man. Brown skin people. Nobody is black and nobody is white, man. Okay, but that's all part of Esau's plan to make you Israelites believe that you're lesser than him. That's why he calls you savages. All right. That's why he paints you, as the drug addicts, right? As the killers. When the studies have shown that the people who use the most drugs and the higher, more potent and addicting drugs, such as like cocaine and meth and opioids and various different opioids, are you Edomites, man. All right, but on the news you always see a so-called Negro or a Latino, all right, or a Native American being portrayed as that drug addict or a murderer, when the Edomites are the ones going around the whole world killing on a mass scale. All right, they killed over 100 million so-called natives, and on top of that another 100 million plus of you so-called Negroes, man, when they took over this land. Okay, so this man has the least right to call anybody a murderer, a thief, or a liar, man, because he's the father of it, man. All right, but I'm gonna keep going here, not to get off the topic, right? This is the bottom paragraph. It says they adore the Great Spirit. All right, who believes in a Great Spirit? All right, it's the Israelites. It says the giver and the taker away of the breath of life. All right, let me get those two scriptures. I think it's John 4. This is the book of John 4. God is the spirit. God is a spirit, and they that worship him must worship him in spirit and in truth. All right, there you go. Let me see. It says the bringer, the giver, and the taker away of life. Right. Where is that? That's 2 Samuel. 2 Samuel 2 and 6, if I'm not mistaken. Salakia. 2 Samuel 1 and 6, maybe. Bear with me, Akim. Salakia. There's 2 Samuel 1 and 6. Oh. Probably 1 Samuel. 1 Samuel 2 and 6. Yep. It's 1 Samuel 2 and 6. It says, the Lord killeth and maketh alive, and he bringeth down to the grave and bringeth up. All right. So here it is, man. the Native Americans believe the same things that were written in the scriptures, man. Though they may have gone off in certain points, all right. A lot of their tendencies or where they were leaning towards what was leaning towards the ways of the ancient Israelites, man. All right, they weren't acting like these Elamites, like these East Indians who have over 600 plus gods. All right, or these Moabites who believe in a fat god or fat bald god or anything like that. No, man, they're the god of the Native Americans had similar tendencies to that of the one written in the scriptures, man. Though they may have been going off in some points, man. All right, you got to think about this, in the sense of patterns and customs. All right. So I'm going to keep going. It says they believed in a future state where the spirits exist, which they called the world of spirits, right? The spiritual realm. It says where they enjoy different degrees of tranquility and comforts agreeable to their life spent here. All right. So let me get a precept on that. All right. This is in Job 3:11. This is Job speaking after he had been going through his affliction. He said, "Why died I not in the womb? Why did I not give up the ghost when I came out of the belly? Why did the knees prevent me, or why the breast that I should suck? For now should I have lain still and been quiet, I would have slept." Like the old saying goes, rest in peace, right? And then had I been at rest, right? This is Job, a man of the Lord, saying if he would have died when he was born, if he would have been miscarriage, he would have been asleep at rest. It says, with kings and counselors of the earth, which build desolate places for themselves, or with princes that had gold, who filled their houses with silver, or as a hidden untimely birth I had not been, as infants which never saw light. There the wicked cease from troubling, and there the weary be at rest. There the prisoners rest together. They hear not the voice of the oppressor. The small and great are there, and the servant is free from his master. Wherefore is light given to him that is in misery, and life unto the bitter soul. All right. So in the spirit world, you're at rest, man. You're at peace. And this is yet another part of the scriptures that falls right in line with the Native Americans, man. So these devils, man, they did a great work at deceiving us and thinking, that we weren't civilized or that we didn't have anything, man. All right. But I'm going to keep going. It says they hold their beloved man or priest in great respect and pay strict obedience to what he directs, man. And the Lord, he is a God of order. All right. It says, as it is written, do all things in decency and in order. All right. So that's another characteristic of the Israelites. All right. So I'm going to go to the next page, and I'm going to skip the first two chapters, and I'm going to go into this larger one that starts as the Jewish prophets. Okay. So, in fact, before I go there, let me see if I had another precept. Yeah. This is also in Sirach 12:7. It says, "Then shall the dust return to the earth as it was, and the spirit shall return unto God who gave it." So they knew that the spirit went somewhere else, man. It wasn't over after they died. All right. Yeah, that's pretty much it. I'm gonna finish it off with this last paragraph. It's in page 116. It says, "As the Jewish prophets had oracles, oracular answers for their prayers, so Indian prophets who invoke Yohiwa." All right, and though they may have been saying the name slightly off, the letters of the name are still there of the Tetragrammaton, man. It's the Ya, the Ha, the Wa, and the Ha. So they had They knew the name at one point, and they still had a broken down way of saying it, man. So this proves that they had the name at one point, man. Yohiwa, man, but the real name being Yahweh. And we can also go into the Tetragrammaton, into the interlinear, right, and look at the Lord's name, right. And you see it in the ancient way of saying it. You have the Ya, the Ha. All right, I'm looking at the Assyrian letters on the top left. It's the Ya, the Ha, the Wa, and the Ha. All right, so it was Yahweh. And this is all documented, man. These Edomites documented what the natives called the Most High, man. All right, but they want to deny this from us, man. They'll rather have us thinking that we are destined to be their servants, man. Because anywhere you go where Esau is living lavishly, anywhere you go where he's eating the highest quality food, the best drinks, doing all manner of wickedness, right? Who is serving there, man? If not you so-called Negroes, you Latinos or Native Americans, man. He has you as servants in his kingdom, man. When you are the sons of the living God, man. Okay? It says, so the Indian prophets who invoke Yohiwa, right, and medicate with supreme holy fire that he may give seasonable rains, have a transparent stone of supposed great power in assisting to bring down the rain when it is put unto a basin of water agreeable to a reputed divine virtue impressed on one of the like sort in old times, which communicates it circularly. This song would suffer great injury, as they assert, were it ever seen by their own lady. And the laity is just like the commoners, the commoner people. So pretty much they had this stone where not even the common people can look at. It says, but if foreigners saw it, and then the separation that they had between their own people and then those of quote unquote other nations, because they were all brothers, right? But they had made separations between their own tribes and the others. That's a custom of Israelites as well, all right? But it says this stone will suffer great injury, as they assert, were it ever seen by their own lady, right? They're commoners. But if by foreigners, it would be utterly despoiled of its divine communicative power. Now they going off on that, but this book makes a good point by saying this looks something like a tradition of the blazing stones of Urim and Thummim, because the Urim and Thummim were used by the Israelites to communicate with the Most High. So they were having yet again another similar custom, of that of the ancient Israelites. Why? Because they come from the ancient Israelites. They are the quote unquote 10 lost tribes, how these Edomites like to call them, right? But they are the northern kingdom. Okay, it says as the Jews had a sanctorum, or the most holy place in their tabernacle and temple, so have all the Indian nations, particularly the Muskogee nation. All right, so here it is. Esau came in and destroyed our people, man. And the whole time he knew that they all had a holy place, man. All these Indian nations, right, had the holy of holies, like the Israelites do, man. All right, but they destroyed it. All right, because they don't have no regard on our people, man. All right, even to this day. All right, it says it is partition. All right, it says particularly the Muskogee nation. It is partitioned off by a mud wall about breast high between the high seat, which always stands on the left of the red painted war seat. There they deposit their consecrated vessels and supposed holy utensils. None of the laity, right, the commoners, daring to approach the sacred place for fear of particular damage to themselves and a general hurt to the people for the supposed divinity of the place, man. And that's in the scriptures, man. we had the Holy of Holies, man. That's part of the law, man. If we read in Leviticus 16, we read verse 1. It says, "And the Lord Yahweh spake unto Moses after the death of the sons of Aaron, where they offered when they offered before the Lord and died. And the Lord said unto Moses, Speak unto Aaron thy brother, that he come not at all times into the holy place, whither the veil within the veil before the mercy seat, which is upon the ark, that he die not, for I will appear in the cloud upon the mercy seat." All right. And there was a certain way that you had to go in there, man. Only the high priests were allowed to go into the holy of holies, man. And if you weren't a high priest, or you go into it incorrectly, man, you could die, man. All right. So, hey, man, this is no coincidence, man. Out of all the customs, you could have had, you know, the similarities are way too close, man. You can't deny it. It is what it is, man. So, with that, I'll leave you guys off with that. I hope the elect out there was edified. I'm gonna end the lesson by giving all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem, Makar Dash. Double honors to the apostles of Great Millstone who rule and teach well, and salutations to the Akim that are pushing forth this word in truth and in sincerity. And another point, I want to thank the elder brother, Ma'aka'ala Nagab, for showing me this book and letting me take pictures of it so that I can do this lesson. All right. So to the next one, brothers, I say shalom and a ball.